Hi, Jill Horowitz here. I have the great pleasure of introducing you to Janet Wincko. She earned her AA at Broward College and then went on and earned her bachelor's degree at Florida Atlantic University as well as her master's degree. So she's very much from Broward County, and Broward County's been very lucky to keep her for the last 30 years. She started out at City Furniture and has done a tremendous job and had an incredible career and is now a senior vice president. So Janet, why don't you tell us what you do at City Furniture?
Oh, great. Thank you so much, by the way, for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to spending time with you. My current position at City Furniture, I'm the Senior Vice President of Associate Relations. I actually started, well, I'm going to go backwards. I actually started there 31 years ago, right after I graduated from FAU, and I was an HR assistant. And over the years, I've always been in HR. I've worked my way up from HR assistant to senior vice president of associate relations. I've had the opportunity to work in all areas of HR. So I've done everything from recruiting and college recruiting, which I truly love, learning and development, benefits, total rewards, associate relations, which is employee relations, kind of the HR ops side, HR technology. So had an opportunity to dabble in all of that. My current role as the SVP of associate relations, I wear a lot of different hats. So I kind of feel like, every day I'm like, okay, I'm going to this meeting, put on my HR technology hat, and then okay, I'm going to go, deal with some employee relations issues. So let me put on my ER hat. But I get to deal with HR technology, employee relations, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I truly love. And actually recently received a certificate from eCornell. So that was a great program, and I was happy to be able to enhance my skills there. Employee experience, let's see, just a lot of different areas in kind of the HR compliance, governance, that type of thing. So truly get to spend my day working in all the areas that I love so much about human resources.
And they're sure lucky to have you. So the next question is, where did you go to high school, and how do we get so lucky to have you get your start at Broward College?
Yeah, so great story. So I was, I'm going to go back even further from high school. So I was born in Broward County at Broward General, which isn't called Broward General. Now it's called Broward, I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, Broward Health. So I was a Broward General baby. And those of us who are Broward General babies, we're very happy about that. We take a lot of pride in being Broward General babies. And literally grew up in Lauderdale Lakes, left the hospital the next day, moved into a house in Lauderdale Lakes, right down the street from Boyd Anderson High School. So I graduated from Boyd Anderson, and at that time, there were scholarships available that were like 2 and 2s. So you would go to Broward College and the Honors Institute, and then you would transfer over to FAU. And my brother had done that he was 2 years older than us, so he had done that. My twin sister and I both took advantage of that scholarship as well. We lived with my mom, who was a single mom, and she instilled, the importance of education, but we didn't really have, the opportunity to necessarily go away to college, but we knew how important college was. So it was a great opportunity to, pursue that scholarship. The Honors Institute was awesome. And we met some great friends, throughout that program, and then transferred over to FAU after that to finish up my degree. So that's how I ended up at Broward College. But interestingly, I'll share this little tidbit. My sister and I often joke that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Broward College. And here's why. My parents actually met at the Junior College of Broward County, which is Broward College. So we often say if they hadn't both been in classes together at the Junior College of Broward County, or now Broward College, we would not be here at all. So we actually, attribute quite a bit to Broward College. It's kind of like, that's where my parents met, fell in love, got married.
Wow, that's a great story. And we do have some couples as well that have met at Broward College that we've been interviewing, and it is a great place. It's a central place, and a lot of people do meet. Were there any certain professors or classes that stood out in your mind that looking back on it?
I don't know why there's this sociology class that I continuously think about. I don't know what it was about that class. I did love it. And another class I really seemed to love was public speaking. And I don't remember the professor's name. It's been a long, it's been 35 years. But I did really enjoy public speaking. And I'm actually an introvert. But there was something about that class where I think that's kind of where I fell in love with, the world of public speaking. So those are the two classes I remember for some reason.
Well,
Don't know why.
you sure seem to be doing well today and
Thank
very
you.
authentic in telling your story, which makes it really compelling. So tell me, what was the best advice you were ever given back in the day?
So back in the day, um, you know, I've been given tons of advice over the years. And I think some of this advice, I was given many, many years ago, and I'm given this advice to this day, from different colleagues and people that I speak with. But I think that people, or the advice that I have received from people, is that you always have to be willing to learn and continue to improve yourself, um, most importantly. But even in your organization, if you can always try to align yourself with an organization that has that same philosophy, in terms of continuous improvement. And the other thing, and this is one of the reasons why I've been at City Furniture, quite honestly, for so long. The other advice that I had received very, very early on was align yourself and join an organization that truly has the same values that you have, right? Because there's nothing worse than working in an organization where you're a little conflicted, and you're not fully aligned. So I look at our mission and our vision and our purpose and our values. Our purpose at City Furniture is to enrich people's lives and make the world a better place. That may sound a little esoteric, a little out there, like, if you're a furniture company, why do you say that you want to enrich people's lives and make the world a better place? Because for us, it's not about selling that sofa. It's about helping families make memories. That dining room table, yes, they're going to eat dinner there. There is a function that dining room table serves. But the bigger part of that dining room table is the memories that people are going to make sitting around at that dining room table, eating dinner every night, or Christmas with their families, or Thanksgiving, or whatever the case may be. So we definitely have a kind of a much higher calling, at City Furniture, and that's always been very important to me. The community side, and helping people, and making sure that we do enrich people's lives, whether it's hiring somebody, right? I mean, I've hired thousands of people over the years, and have helped thousands of associates every day who call me or text me and they need help with a big problem or a little problem. But somehow when I go home at night and I put my head on my pillow, I know that I served a purpose that day, and I help somebody and I enrich their lives, big or small. So
Yes, and
yeah, find yourself.
I think that it conveys that in the advertising. They see the beds with the little kids jumping up and down,
Yeah.
which is reality, which is great. So do you happen to have a favorite quote that you wanted to share?
I do. I really, I just love, I mean, there's so many great quotes, right? But I just love Maya Angelou's quote: people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And, there's a lot of times where, we're sitting in our roles as HR professionals. And, a lot of people say, why'd you go into HR? Because you like people, and that's not the only reason why I went into HR, but I do like to make sure that when people walk away from an interaction with me, that I made them feel important and valued and special and recognized and those types of things. So I just love that quote. I think it's a great quote.
Yes, I think it suits you well. I'm sure she would be glad if you were here, if she were here to hear you say that. So
Thank
what
you.
is what is something that you're super excited about?
You know, I'm I could talk personally and professionally on that one, but I'll veer over on the professional side and stick with City Furniture. So, I like I said, I've been at City Furniture 31 years, and a lot of people have said to me, why do you stay so long? And, are you afraid to leave? Things like that. And I always say, no, because there's always something exciting happening at City Furniture. I started when it was Waterbed City. It's a $45 million company. We have 13 stores, we have 250 employees. It's a very different organization now. But there's always really cool stuff. It was like we moved from Waterbed City and we converted to City Furniture, and we've implemented some really, really cool, same day delivery and some really great initiatives over the years. And, for me, I like the change in the organization. We're a second generation now. So Kevin is our founding father who has since passed away. Keith is our CEO. Andrew is his son, is our president. And it's just, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the future and where is City Furniture going to be? We talk about, we have really awesome expansion plans and, leaving the state of Florida, which is really cool. People in other states are like, when are you guys coming up? We're like, hopefully soon. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see where's City Furniture going to be in 5 years from now.
Yeah, that's great that you could be a part of it. And I do know that Kevin was also a Broward College alum. I know
Yes,
that
he was.
Yeah, that's been mentioned, which is really awesome because, as you said, he was the founding father. And then, of course, the other traditions that have continued on from there, which are really, really exciting. And I know you're not afraid of technology. You said you're implementing a new system there, which, is great that you are always on the cutting edge, always on the forefront. Nothing frightens you, which is
it's interesting that you mentioned technology because, you'll hear us say now that we are a technology company that happens to sell furniture. Because we are heavily invested in technology in our organization, particularly in the customer facing roles with our iPads for our showrooms and what technology our call center uses and those types of things. So, but yeah, our website it looks phenomenal and that's getting a facelift too. It's like, we never stop. Never stop on the technology side.
That's great. So is there something that you're deeply grateful for? You've had a lot of success. What would you say?
You know what? I would take it all the way back to that decision to accept that scholarship and go to Broward College, transfer over to FAU. I was able to graduate with my undergrad with no student debt. So it was 100% paid for. And then while I was, working at City Furniture, I went back and got my MBA from FAU, and City Furniture paid for that through our tuition reimbursement program. And I'm very grateful for that. You hear stories, of the people that are strapped with student loan debt. And I am forever grateful that I was able to obtain, 3 degrees, my AA, my bachelor's, my master's, and never outlaid any money to do that. I mean, you can't get any more grateful than that.
Right.
For something that at the end of the day, nobody can take that away from you. Realistic, material things, not that they can never take your education away from you. So I'm grateful for having been afforded the opportunity to go to college, and particularly to have gone to college, and walk away with no debt, and have people invested. Really, it's about people investing in us, though, whether it was City Furniture or, that scholarship,
right,
from our college way back in the day.
Yes, thank you for that. I'm thrilled. So do you have any heroes that you want to talk about?
Yeah, this may sound a little corny and maybe it's the one that everybody talks about, but my mom is my hero. And I've already alluded to the fact, that education is very important to us. And she was a single mom. And the one thing we never grew up thinking that we wouldn't go to college. She just instilled that from the very beginning, that whole concept of nobody can take your education away from you. And she was a single mom and she worked super hard. And she, in the midst of my brother, I have a twin sister, my twin sister, and myself getting our college degrees, she went back and got her college degree as well. So in between, so my sister graduated a half a semester early. I graduated a half a semester late because I changed majors. My mom graduated in between my twin sister and I.
Wow, that's a great story. Yes.
Yeah. So she's definitely my hero for a million reasons, but a lot of it's just she taught us about working hard and being dedicated. She also worked at her employer for, her last employer for 20 plus years. My sister's been at her organization for 35 plus years. She taught us about commitment and tenacity, and she's a wonderful lady.
The good news is she's still here. She can watch this interview, so we look forward to her watching.
She is. She's still here. She's very proud of us. So hopefully she'll see this interview and be happy.
So what advice would you give if there were some prospective college students watching this, or some students that may be kind of struggling with classes and things like that? What would you say? What's the best advice that you would give to anyone, or that has been at their company for a long time? What advice would you give?
Yeah, I would give the very similar advice to the advice that I was given. You just you have to keep learning and reinventing yourself. You know, you can't stay in an organization for 31 years. And I'm not the same person I was 31 years ago. I mean, not even like, obviously age-wise, I'm not. But, you know, this constant desire to learn and, you know, go back during that period of time, you know, raise children, you know, continue to, you know, enhance my education skills with other certificates and things like that. Have mentors, have mentees. You know, I mean, you want to become surrounded by everybody because you want to be learning from so many people, right? So that's my biggest advice: is never shut that desire and hopefully love for learning off. Whether you're in college and you're sitting in a class and you're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I think I might give up. Or whether you're in a company and you're, you know, in or 10 years in or 30 years in. And, you know, I could easily say, I've been there 30 years. I'm done learning. Then somebody's going to roll right past me, man. So you got to keep learning.
Right. Awesome. That is great. Well, I thank you very much. I know that your time is very valuable, and we really appreciate you coming on and sharing your stories, and continue to be successful in your career. And we will look forward to hearing from you again when we start doing more in-person events. You can come and speak to our students and talk about the great career. I know we don't call it human resources anymore. We call it talent and culture, but that field is here to stay. And the benefit of having happy employees is, while you can't necessarily put a number on it, I know that it can really make the difference in a successful company. So
absolutely can make or break a company, right?
Right. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Jill. I appreciate it.